actually here with Brittany Price. How you doing, Brittany?
Good. How are you, Marsha?
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
Brittany, can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Now we have, yes. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Great. So you're with Textron. What do you do there?
So I'm actually a university recruiter at Textron. I work in the talent acquisition team.
Oh, that's a wonderful job. I bet you have a lot of fun. Now, where do you do the most of your recruitment?
All over the place, honestly. So we typically have targeted schools that we aim to recruit at each season. So typically when we're not in a COVID, in the middle of a pandemic, usually some of the schools I go to are Georgia Tech, Purdue, Penn State, Tuskegee, Prairie View, Texas A&M, University of Texas. So we're a little bit all over the place.
What type of talent are you looking for?
So we're an aerospace defense company, so primarily engineers. But of course, our business needs everyone to operate. So we also look for HR roles, marketing, accounting, graphic design. Our company, Textron, it is encompassed, including a bunch of smaller business units as well. So our products can range from commercial products like helicopters to military products as well. So we kind of need everyone to make our business run and be successful.
So what type of engineers are you looking for when you talk about an engineer?
All types. So primarily when we're talking about the business unit that I work for, which is Bell, we make helicopters. We literally build them. So we need aerospace engineers, mechanical engineers, computer and electrical engineers. We also need people like computer engineering and computer science to work with like the gears and the technology of the actual helicopter and the wires. So we need all the engineers. They all need to
really fast
come together.
But I also heard you talk about graphic designers. Now that's very interesting. What type of positions do you have available for that?
A lot of our graphic designers will work in our innovation department. So a lot of the helicopters that we make or any of our military products, first we have to graph them virtually. So a lot of the graphic designers will design the looks of what our helicopters are going to look like, even when you're going down into the details of specifying what kind of seating will they have, where will the gas tank go, where will the gears go. Everything is digital first before we actually start to build. So definitely those graphic designers for that. So
what got you into recruiting, and what was your major for you to go to Textron?
Yeah, so I kind of stumbled into recruiting on accident, but I'm from Ohio, so I went to the University of Cincinnati, and I studied communication for my bachelor's degree and then educational studies for my master's. And I always knew that I really liked to work with students and to impact their decisions. But I didn't want to be a professor. I didn't want to be a teacher. So I was a tour guide when I was in college. And so I got to show prospective students and visitors and their parents around campus. And that's kind of how I got interested in recruiting, because it's a way to highlight the place that I work. I enjoy the place that I work. So I get to go out and talk to students about Textron and all of our business units. I'm really excited to talk about it. And usually that carries over to the student that I'm talking to, getting excited about the company, and that generates interests. And ultimately, I'm looking for good people to help us build these products, these aircrafts.
So here's a question for you: you're going out recruiting. What is it that you're looking for from a student? What do you want them to be able to know or do, or what experiences should they have had? That type of thing.
That's a good question. So I recruit specifically for a lot of our entry-level roles as well as internship opportunities. So since I'm going on campuses, and this year everything's virtual, but when I'm interacting with students, I'm looking for leadership experience. What are you involved in on campus that directly correlates to your major and the jobs ultimately that you'll be applying for? My engineering students in particular always like to list relevant coursework. So classes that they've taken that can apply to the internship or the entry-level job that they're interested in applying to, as well as projects, involvement in projects. A lot of students on their resume can list out, hey, in my aerodynamics class, I got to work on this kind of project. And in my, physics class, I got to work on this kind of project. And being able to hear about their experiences in the classroom often will directly correlate to the type of work that they would be doing at Textron. I look for involvement, what type of projects you've been in, and leadership experience.
Leadership experience. Why is that important?
Because when you get to the workplace, everybody will know you and I have gotten to experience this with us being in the workplace, but it's important to be a leader in the workplace. And it's important not only to be a leader, but also know how to collaborate and work with other leaders. When you're working with a very innovative company, especially when you're thinking of aircrafts, we always have to, innovate ourselves and come up with an aircraft that's better than the last model or that has more features than the last model. And so if you're not a leader, it's not really going to work in the workplace. So like leaders, you have to still have that cool personality and be approachable and be open to feedback and open to collaborating with other people.
So what type of jobs are available right now with Textron?
We've got, because we have so many business units, the job list is definitely infinite, it seems like. So if you go to textron.com and click on our careers button, it'll give you an all-inclusive list of job opportunities, not only with Textron, but with our other business units as well. You'll see lots of engineering opportunities. There's some human resources opportunities out there. Of course, our corporate functions, so things like finance and marketing, accounting. We have offerings all across the board.
So did a recruiter recruit you out of Ohio?
No. So I'm a little bit older than I look. So I didn't come to Textron straight out of college. I actually spent about 7 years working in higher education. I was recruiting, but for a college. And so now I'm recruiting for a company. So I was doing relatively the same kind of work, but I kind of recruited myself to come and work at Textron because it seemed like a really cool culture. And I was ready to transition out of just that higher ed realm. I wanted to get more on a corporate level. So I found Textron on LinkedIn, actually. Started doing a little bit more research. And after my research, I was like, I definitely want to work here. And I applied, and here I am.
Well, I think that's really interesting because my next question is, what's the value of diversity and inclusion?
The value of inclusion is very important in a workplace. For me, when I look for students, remember how we were talking about, I look for students to be involved on campus. I look for them to be involved in a diverse array of things on campus. But as far as diversity for us, we honestly feel that we can't be a successful company without being diverse and inclusive. And for me, in my experiences, the best ideas are born when people from different walks of life collaborate and get together and come up with ideas together. Because when everyone's coming from the exact same background, nobody's really bringing anything new to the table or to the ideas. But the beauty and diversity and inclusiveness is when we all are from different places and we all look different, we all think differently, we all process things differently. That's amazing when you're collaborating in a room and you're coming up with ideas for your workplace. So we value and we celebrate differences and diversity here at Textron. So that was one thing that drew me to the company.
So when we look at the next level of people, the next group of hires, give me 3 things that are off the top that are real critical for you when you're looking at somebody's resume or you're sitting in an interview.
So if I'm sitting in an interview, and these days it's virtual, I look for just the natural flow of the conversation. You can tell a lot about a person and their personality based on how they carry a conversation. So we're big on, can people fit into the culture here, as far as we're very laid back, we're very chill, we're successful, but we're a very laid back type of environment. So I look for the person's personality to kind of shine, to show that, you know, they're chill, they're open. So personality, of course, leadership experience, and just looking for differences that may not be something that people can, you know, have on their resume, those non-tangible things that people may not write down. But then when you have a conversation with a person, whether it's over the phone, on the video, or in person, if you get to, just those intangible things that you don't necessarily get to write down. But personality, you know, what does that person feel like as far as their energy, their, you know, their vibes? So those are the things that I look for when I'm conversing with potential talent.
So our CEO, Tyrone Taborn, Dr. Tyrone Taborn, wants to know about the cool technology that you have.
So if people out there, if you're watching and you love to go down YouTube rabbit holes like myself, definitely type in. I'm going to give you some things to research about our company. One of the innovative things that we're working on is called the Nexus. That is with one of our smaller business units called Bell, headquartered in Fort Worth, Texas. We're working on the Bell Nexus, which is a partnership with Uber, and it's an urban air taxi. This is not flying around in the air yet. Hopefully when, you know, about 10 years from now, we're thinking so far ahead and planning for it. The idea with the Uber air taxi is to have more easy and convenient transportation. When you think of an urban city like Los Angeles or Houston, Dallas, Atlanta, Chicago, DC, when you need to get to the airport, you know, you have to leave hours in advance just to sit through traffic to even get to the airport. So with the urban air taxi, the urban city air taxi, the same idea is when you would pick up your cell phone and call an Uber ride, you'd pick up your cell phone and be able to utilize getting to the airport a lot quicker and bypassing a lot of traffic in the bigger cities. And because we have that commercial and military commercial and military customer base, we can also use that air taxi. Let's say if there is a battle going on and we need to get supplies and people and soldiers to a certain area very quickly, and we don't want to use a helicopter or an airplane, we could use that air taxi as quick transportation. So those are some innovative things we're working on. We're also working on drones. Some of the drones can actually hold up to 70 pounds. If you Google Bell Apt, APT, you'll get to see that drone. And we're also, one of our business units, Bell, is also a finalist in 2 military competitions. One of them, we have an aircraft called the V-280. Get on YouTube and watch some cool videos of the V-280. But if we end up winning this contract with the military, the Bell V-280 will actually replace all the current Black Hawks that are on the map on the market.
That's huge.
Huge. And then our Bell Invictus, that's going to be our long-range attack renaissance aircraft, and that will be an option for the military to use in battle as well.
Well, let me tell you something. This has been an incredible interview, and I'm loving that you know all of this equipment and can talk about it off the top of your head. That's fabulous. And that's exciting for the next person that's interested in coming to you. So give us how everybody can get in touch with you and apply for some of these positions and figure out how we can recruit them to Textron.
Yeah, for sure. So we will be in attendance at the Women of Color Conference as well. I'm not sure what our virtual booth number is yet, but be on the lookout for Textron. You can also just Google Textron, and it'll take you to our homepage. Click on the careers tab, and that will be a list of all the job opportunities that we have, whether you're looking for internships or entry-level work. An easy way to maneuver through all of the job postings, if you just type in 2021 for 2021 in that search bar, that'll bring up all the opportunities that we have upcoming for this coming summer. You can also follow us on LinkedIn if you look for Textron, interact with us, follow us there. And those are our main platforms that we're engaging on.
Well, Brittany, this is wonderful. Thank you. You have been delightful, and it's so exciting because you know everything about your company, and we.
I try.
Yes, you do, and you've done a great job. So thank you very much, and good luck. And I know you're going to find some great recruits from the Women of Color STEM this year.
We're looking forward to it.
All right. I'm Marsha Juice, and thank you, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Thank you, and we'll be right back.